All right, hey guys, this video is going to be a little introduction to lesson 1.6, which is on solving problems that involve proportional relationships. So I'm going to just show you a couple different ways that you can use to solve problems that involve proportional relationships, besides just the way that we have shown you already this module. All right, so a quick recap. If I give you these graphs, tables, and equations, can you tell me if they are proportional or not? So if you can pause the video and just kind of think to yourself for each of them, is it proportional, yes or no? All right, so the first one, if I look at this, I can tell it goes through 0, 0. It's a straight line, it has a constant rate, so yes, this one is proportional. Second one, if I kind of look this out, one way to look at this is you can divide the y by the x. So if I do like 5 divided by 1, I get 5. If I do 10 divided by 2, I get 5. 15 divided by 3 is 5. 20 divided by 4 is 5. So this one is also proportional. All right, my next one is not, because it doesn't go through 0, 0. There must be a fee to get into the theme park before the tickets. Second one, again, I can test this out. I can do 3 divided by 2, 6 divided by 4, 12 divided by 8, 14 divided by 12. I should get the same number every time. I do not, so it's not proportional. All right, equations. Remember, all our proportional equations are in this form, y equals k times x. You can't have a plus something, because then that means there's something extra and it won't start at 0, 0. So this one would be proportional. This one is not because of that plus 4. Okay, so let's do one other quick kind of review problem, what we've done this chapter so far. So I might tell you that it costs $15.92 for 8 pounds of grapes. First thing I'd like you to do is, you may use a calculator on this. Can you find me what the unit rate is? So unit rate means per one. So I want to know, well, if it costs $15.92 for 8 pounds, can you figure out how much it costs for 1 pound? Okay, so for unit rates, we've been dividing this whole chapter, so let's divide that out. All right, if I divide that out, I get $1.99. And for it to be a unit rate, you need to have a label, so it's per pound. So what is the constant of proportionality? Remember, that's just another name for unit rate without the label. So I'm just going to say it's 1.99. All right, so if I want to figure out how much it costs for any amount of pounds, I'll put y equals, I know it's $1.99 times however many pounds I buy. I'll call that x. So again, x is going to be the number of pounds here. Y is going to give me my total cost, and I know it's $1.99 for a pound. So if I want to know how much 17 pounds cost, if I'm having a party, I'm going to do y equals, I'm going to do $1.99 times 17. So when two numbers are right next to each other, that means multiply. So if I do $1.99 times 17, I end up with $33.83. All right, and lastly, what about how many pounds of grapes can I get for $25.87? So this time, if I look at my equation, my answer is $25.87. I need to figure out $1.99 times something, I don't know what it is, equals $25.87. Well, if you're trying to find $1.99 times something to get to $25.87, you would divide. So I'm going to do 25.87 divided by $1.99. I end up with 13 pounds of grapes. All right, so that's kind of what we've been doing so far this chapter. So let's kind of move on and see another way to solve these problems. All right, so today I'm going to show you another way you can solve proportions or problems that are equal. So if you take a look at these fractions, you would probably agree that a half is the same thing as 4/8. If I simplify 4/8, it's a half. Same thing here, 3/5, that's the same as 12/20, because if I look at it, to get from 3 to 12, it's 4 times bigger, so 5 times 4 is also 20. Okay, same thing here. To get from 2 to 6, it's 3 times bigger, 3 times 3 is 9. And then on my last one, to get from 1 to 3 times 3 times 3. So these are all equivalent fractions. It also has another name that we are going to learn in 7th grade, and these are called proportions. Basically, it's saying that two two quantities are equal to each other, or two rates or two ratios are equal to each other. Now, there's something special about each of these equivalent fractions. If you look at the diagonals, you might notice something about them. Okay, so if I check out the two diagonals in every single problem, there's something special about them. So I want you to just kind of pause. Do you notice anything about the diagonals that might be special? All right, well, I'll show you in case you didn't notice. So if you look at this diagonal, if I multiply these two diagonals, 1 times 8, that's 8. If I multiply the other diagonal, it's also 8. Looks like their diagonals are equal. Okay, and my next one below it, if I do 3 times 6, that's 18. And if I do 2 times 9, that's also 18. So the diagonals are equal. Here, 5 times 12 is 60, and 3 times 20 is also 60. And the last one, I get 12 and 12. So this is the cool thing about a proportion, or two equivalent rates, is if you multiply their diagonals, they're always going to be equal. So if you look at this next set of problems, knowing that, we should be able to solve these problems. So I'm gonna start with the second one just because it's a little bit easier. So if I look at the diagonals, this is just one way to solve it. There's more. I notice that, okay, that diagonal, 8 times 3 is 24. That means my other diagonal, 4 times something, also has to be 24. Well, I can do that in my head. 4 times 6 is 24. So my answer for x would be 6. Okay, let's do another one. Okay, I'm going to look at this diagonal because I know the two numbers. 9 times 10 is 90. So 6 times something also has to be 90. So I'm actually going to do 90 divided by 6. And I end up with 15. So now these two would be equivalent rates or fractions. Okay, if I look at my first one then, if I look at my diagonal, I know 5 times 12 is 60. So I need to do 8 times something is 60. Well, I can do 60 divided by 8 to figure that out, which gives me 7.5. And then finally, again, I can look at the diagonals. That's 21. So 5 times something is 21. Just do 21 divided by 5. I end up with 4.2. And I just solved all of those. So now let's try to apply that to a problem. Okay, now this is not the only way to solve these problems. I just want to show you another strategy. So if you solve this and you get it a different way, that's perfectly fine. Actually, why don't you pause the video and I want you to just try this one without my help. You may use a calculator. When you're ready, push play. All right, so if I look at this one, it says the wait time to ride a roller coaster is 20 minutes if there's 160 people in line. So I'm just going to rate a ratio. So it's 20 minutes when there's 160 people. I want to know, well, what if there are 240 people in line? How long would I expect them to wait? And it says, assume that this relationship is proportional. Okay, as soon as I see that, if they tell me it's proportional, I'm going to set up an equal sign and another line. So I'm going to say, hey, this rate that I have here, our ratio, has to be equal to another rate here. So instead of 160 people, I'm going to set this up and say, well, instead of 160, what if I had 240 people? Notice how I kept my same labels across from each other. I had people here, so I put people across from it. And I want to know how many minutes that would be. I'll put an X there. Now, think about what we just learned in the other, on the slide before here. I can take those two diagonals, 20 times 240. That gives me 4,800. So I need to figure out 160 times something also gives me 4,800. Well, you can just take 4,800 divided by 160, and I end up with 30. So that's going to take me 30 minutes, or it'll take 30 minutes for 200 if there are 240 people in line at the amusement park. All right, let's try another one. It says Matthew paid $49.45 for 5 video games. I'm just going to set up a proportion. So it's $49.45 for 5 video games. Notice how I always like to put my labels. Okay, I'm going to say that the relationship is proportional, so I can set up something called a proportion, or equal rates. So it says, what if I was going to buy 11 video games? So instead of 5, I'm going to put 11 down here on the bottom, and I'm going to try to solve it. Again, just one way to solve it. So I can take $49.45 times 11. That's $543.95. And then I know 5 times something also has to give me that. So I'm just going to divide that by 5. I end up with, it's going to cost $108.79. Now, I could also solve that a different way. I might think, this is probably what most of you would do before I showed you this. I might say, okay, it's $49.45 for 5 games. I'm just going to figure out how much it costs for 1 game. So if I divide that out, I get it's $9.89 per game. So that's just for 1 game. If I want 11, I could just times that by 11. So if I times that by 11, I should get the same amount, which is $108.79. So there's a second way to do it. All right, let's check out one more. I want you to read through this one and then see if you can solve it a couple different ways. Maybe you can solve it using a proportion, the way I showed you, and maybe you can solve it another way as well. Okay, so pause the video, go ahead, try it. All right, so the first one, I see that she can get 8 teas for $13.52. So I'm going to put it's $13.52 for 8 teas. And if you wrote 8 teas for $13.52, that's also okay. You just need to keep things lined up. Okay, I'm going to set up a proportion, like an equal fraction. And what if I was going to buy 12 bottled teas? So I just need to make sure my 12 teas are across from my other teas. Okay, so no matter which way I do it, I have that. I do not know the cost. I'll just call it X. So either way you set that up would work. So I'm going to do $13.52 times 12. Notice that's the same down here. I end up with $162.24. And then 8 times something also has to give me that. So I'll just divide it by 8. And I end up with $20.28. So again, just one strategy to use. Another way you could solve it is I could say, oh, it's $13.52 for 8 bottles. So maybe I'll divide it out for 1. So if I divide that out, I end up with $1.69. That's for 1. So if I want 12, I'm going to do $1.69 times 12. And I end up with $20.28. Let's try one more problem. So what if I tell you that for every 3 girls in a class that like pizza, there are 4 boys in that same class who like pizza? Okay, and then I tell you, what if there are 236 boys that are in the class, in the school? Can you figure out the number of girls? Okay, so I want to figure out the number of girls. I'm going to set up a ratio. I'm going to say for every 3 girls, there are 4 boys. So if I have 236 boys, I can put 236 boys right across from it, and I'm going to find that. So my last step would be, I can do it this way, or another way. I can say, okay, how do I get, I'm going to do 3 times 236. That gives me 708. So 4 times something is also 708. So I'm going to divide that by 4, and I end up with 177 girls. Now, another way you could think of that is you could go like this. I can be like, okay, from 4 to 236. 4 times what is 236? So if I divide that out, I get 59. So then I'd have to do the same thing on the top to make an equal fraction or rate. I'd do 59 times 3, and guess what? I still get 177. All right, if you have any questions, please let me know, but I just wanted to show you some strategies to solve these types of problems.